Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and I'm a fourth year foundation phase student in South Africa, and as you can see I'm in the same clothes as the previous video because I'm literally filming them back to back. But today we are talking all about all the different things that I've had to make throughout my degree, things that you will probably have to make, things that you'll need for in your classroom, and today I just wanted to show them, give some inspiration and talk about why it's important that we need these things. So firstly, this is my weather chart, weather calendar, whatever you call it. Um, and you might be able to get a better look at this on my Instagram because I have taken photos of it to show a bit more in detail. So basically, all of this is Velcro. So how you'll use it is you'll use it normally in your morning ring, in your morning session. I don't know what else people call it, but basically in the morning when they come in, you talk about the weather, you talk about how the day was, or if it was a weekend, you talk about how the weekend was. Over here, we obviously change the date every day. I have no idea where my numbers went or where the years went, but they are somewhere in this house. Um, so you obviously talk about the date, and then every day you put one of these bad boys on. This is how it looks. So what I did and what I had and what I have had to do, we had to make 30 of each of these things. So 30 of these, which was the sun. We literally had to make 30 to 31 of each of these because obviously not every single day is sunny, or every single day could be sunny, or every single day in like July could be raining and storming. So every day they come in, and then from the 1st to the 31st of every month, you obviously put what type of weather it is outside, and then over here you put today is, and then today is Monday, and then tomorrow will be, and yesterday was. This is a very good language exercise. We talk about that, we do this all the time because they need to start recognizing past tense, present tense, future tense. So these are language skills that the learners don't even know that they are like obtaining, but they are unintentionally. That's obviously what we call emergent literacy. It's something that they don't realize that they're doing. They're not doing it with intention of doing it. They're doing it as just like part of the activity. And then obviously down here, today's weather is sunny. And then over here, I don't know where my words went either, but you'll put the word sunny or whatever the weather is over there. And then this is the weather chart. So next we have this bad boy. So the size of all of these is A1 or A0 is the page size. They are huge. You get those page, you can get them at P&A. Honestly, that's probably the best place to go, and you do have to get them laminated professionally because unfortunately none of us have laminators that are this big. But basically this is my little season chart. I painted the background and then obviously stuck on the images and the wording. I'm not sure if you can see that there is wording, and then obviously just printed and cut this out in color paper. And this will only change when the season changes, so it just has the little arrow that you spin around. This can just stay in your classroom, and then when the season rolls over, whatever, you'll, along with this chart, you will work with this chart, which I thought was really, really good. So next I have this huge chart. I'm not sure if you can see, it's like almost as big as me. This is A1, I think, or it's a A0, I don't know. So basically in foundation phase and in majority of the classes, you will have different groups. Now, majority of the time, depending on the school, depending on how many learners, depending on the level of where they are with certain subjects. So this one is specifically for reading, but you can obviously switch it around. I'll show you now how we can switch it around. You'll have different groups. So they can be color groups, they could be animal groups, they could be Disney groups, it could be any type of group. But basically you'll have your yellow group, your red group, and your blue group. So the kids obviously don't know why they have all these different groups, but it's basically the different levels. And that is just something that you have to decide for yourself how you'd like to do that. So basically, we have a lesson called group guided reading, and so that means, or you can have group guided writing, you can have group guided literally anything. It's for maths, it's for languages, all sorts. So basically what happens is you have your smaller group. Say now the yellow group is with you on the mat and you guys are reading or you're doing maths or whatever. So obviously over here, you'd switch this book around, and then they know, okay, they are busy doing, they are going to do reading first, and the other two groups are going to be doing a self-sufficient um, little worksheet or whatever it is that you choose for them to do while you are busy doing reading with this group. Then the blue group know that they are second, and then the other two groups are busy doing their task, and then lastly the red group goes third, and then the other two groups are still busy doing their task, or you've given them a new task or whatever. So basically these are all interchangeable with Velcro on the back, and so you literally just move it around. You can add a little maths picture, you can add the word maths, or whatever it is. You can keep the word task, or because then they know they're supposed to be doing their own individual work. And then you can just like switch it around. It's really, really helpful. I've been to many practicals where I've seen teachers use these. It's so efficient, and it really helps the learners recognize and realize that they are doing something according to a pattern and according to a routine, which is definitely what foundation phase, if not older than that, that's what they need. It is a much needed structure component in the classroom. So I would definitely recommend making one of these if you don't have to do it as an assignment. So the next two things are these files. Now basically the inside looks like this, and these are called robot letters. And basically what it is you have printed A4 letters in the font Teacher's Pet. If you follow me on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about when I talk about Teacher's Pet. It is the font that we use for letter formation. So if I take one out, what I love about these is that you can take them out, you can put them on your board depending on what letter you are focusing on. And then also I've added a green dot there, and then that's where you end. So that's where you start, that's where you end. It just shows them where to start, because you know, they're still learning how to do letter formation. So you explain it using these robot letters. You can also just draw it on the board, of course, but this is something I'll never ever throw away. You can use it throughout the foundation phase. You can find interesting ways to use it and age appropriate ways to use it as well. Then the next one is the tactile letters. So if you are a little bit unfamiliar with the word tactile, so that basically means texture. So everything is textured. And so what I did was I used the same basis, but I just, obviously we didn't put the stickers on to show where to stop and to start. But this is like used with pipe cleaners, and then I have one with felt. So this was a pattern. It was pipe cleaner, felt, sandpaper. And then basically is the reason we do this, well, this is how the sandpaper one looks. You can't really see it, but I promise it is there. The reason we use tactile letters is because it helps memory. So basically what happens is they remember how it feels. So I don't know if you have learned this, or if your lecturers have told you this, or maybe if you've done your own research, but basically everyone learns differently, and I'm almost certain we learned this in like life orientation in high school. Is some people learn auditory learning, you get like visual learning, kinesthetic learning, whatever. This is tactile learning. Now we do it with all the foundation phase kids, all the learners in your class you'll do it with. It's not just for a specific group. But the reason we do that is because firstly you need to have a diverse method of teaching, because not every learner is the same. Some learners might be able to look at that and be like, oh, that's like a sound, and they'll just know that. But then there's other learners who and then they'll know how to form it as well, but then there's other learners who are going to struggle with that. And so we bring this in almost as an intervention. Oh my word, I almost said the Afrikaans word. An intervention method, but also just like a fun way for them to remember how to do letter formation and how to form certain letters. And because some people's brains just use or need the texture feeling of how to do things. The same as some learners need to move their bodies to be able to remember things, and they just remember things through motion. Some people might remember it through textures. So that is also a very, very interesting. And then the last thing that I want to show you, I know this video is extremely long, but very necessary. The last thing that I want to show you is all of these little letters. Now, mind you, these are not easy to make. It's a lot of cutting, but once you've done it, you never have to do it again. So basically, there are obviously, it's these little letters. They are like the tiniest little square blocks. I think they're like 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters. And there's like literally a list on Google of how many of each letter you need. Because certain letters you're not going to use like more than 2 in a word, but then there are other words that you need more vowels or whatever. So I'm not sure like how many you need, but basically this is how they look. And I must understand this assignment, we had to make so many different colors of these things. I think it's like literally 10 different packs. So these are used for reading and writing and spelling, and like learning how to obviously spell words, how to read words, how to sound words out and stuff like this. So you do use these in your group guided sessions. Your group guided sessions are obviously the sessions that you do on the floor with the groups of the learners. You do spelling, word building, all sorts. They are also used for intervention purposes, so during extra classes or when learners are struggling with certain things. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this video was helpful. Please let me know down in the comments if you would like me to talk about anything else, and I'll see you all in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!